Hello everyone, it's Sue from Scrappy Doo Sue. I hope everyone's okay. Welcome to any new subscribers and welcome back to any returning subscribers. I do appreciate your support. It will help my channel grow. At the moment, because I work full-time, I'm not really able to schedule much in the way of regular videos. I am doing Dee Dee Farago's YouTube challenge, hashtag 2021TCTC, and we're doing another episode of that today. I'm also following Marguerite Miller's 52-week collage challenge. I didn't start that until April, so I've got a lot of catching up to do because, as I say, it's 52 weeks. Most people start it in January. I didn't start it until April, so I'll be doing one or two of those a week to try and catch up. And then on top of that, I have started a peacock journal, but I am conscious that I haven't been on with that and done another episode of that for 2 or 3 weeks, if not more, longer. So I that's next on my list to do. So that will be coming up soon. But today we're doing another episode of Dee Dee Farago's YouTube challenge, which is hashtag 2021 TCTC, and it's episode 21, and it is what I would call a double pocket flip. Now, I've tried this video twice already. I had problems with both. Hopefully you can see everything and the camera's in the right place, because the last video I tried, it wasn't, so I have had to readjust it all. Anyway, because I've tried it twice, I've now got 2 demonstration pieces to show you. So this is what it is. So it is, and let me find a label to just show you, double pocket. So you've got a pocket here and you have a pocket here in this one. And this one is designed for this part to be glued to a page, 3 sides, with another top loading pocket at the back of that one, or on those 3 sides with a side loading pocket. This one is designed the opposite way, so the smaller piece will be on the page, glued down 3 sides, top loading pocket or side tuck, and it has a pocket here and a pocket here, like that. Okay, so that's what we're going to make today. Right, so let's get started. Now, Dee Dee used an envelope and a sack. Now, the sack that she used, I think, is what we would call a coin envelope. It looked like this anyway. I might be wrong, but I don't have any of those. I only have these little coin envelopes, but sadly my envelopes are only this small and don't really fit with this. So I had a look around and I found some wage slip pack envelopes. Now these are extremely thin and they do kind of fit. So this is what we're going to use today. So all we're doing, the only gluing part to make the piece is gluing the flap to the back or the front of this, like that. So I'm gluing mine on that side. But before we glue that down, we want to cover these over, and it's easier to cover them before you glue them. Now, to make my wage packet line up with this, what I've done is I took my ruler and I've just bent or folded over the flap so that it's lining up with that. Okay, like so. Let's do that slightly. And it's so thin it could easily tear. Right, and I am going to glue that flap onto the inside of here to give that a bit more stability. So we're just going to put some glue around here like this. And I am going to open that out and fold that right in there like that to give that a bit more stability. I'll just give that press down with the bone folder. And I'm going to have to reinforce the inside of here because this is very thin. You can see it's even starting to tear now. Okay, that's fine. Right, so we're going to cover them over, and after we've covered them, I'm going to cut a slither off, either this side or this side, depending on how I've glued it on, to make my top loading pocket on this piece. So this is our top loading pocket on this piece. So we'll cover this piece first. And I have got some paper out of my heirloom pack. I've got 2 sheets that sort of correspond. So I like to do it in two different shades of paper. So I like those. So I'm going to cover them like this. Now Dee Dee came up with the idea of just literally gluing the piece down onto the sheet of paper and then cutting round it, and I think that's a good idea. So that's what we're going to do with this. So we're going to just cover this with some glue. I'm using still using my Cosmic Shimmer. It's never ending. Whenever you want to use something up, it seems to have a new lease of life, I think. Okay, so we're going to try and put that corner to corner, like so. Keep it to the edge there as well. Before I press that down, I'm just going to check that side. That's fine. Let me put those out of the way for a moment. I'm trying to be tidy today, you'll be pleased to know. I'm not quite happy with that. I just want to move that over slightly. Okay, now I'm going to cut round it. Just be very careful when you do this that you don't cut into the envelope. So that's slanted slightly, so we'll cut around this. Like that. I'm going to slant that edge as well, just to match that one. That's better. And what I'll do is I will, gosh, now you see, this is what I start doing. I'm going to keep cutting bits off till there's nothing left. I'm going to ink round it at the end. That's what I was trying to say. So put that piece up there out of the way, and then this side I'm going to cover with this piece like this, but we only want to cover, so I'm going to cover up to here where this flap ends, and then I shall stick another piece down in there and a piece in here to reinforce both sides. Okay, so I will measure this with my pencil. So I want it to come up to this line here. So I just want it, I want to glue it onto there like that and not cut around the whole thing. Actually, I'm wondering if it would be easier if I lay this down. Yes, so I glue this now. So I'm just trying to think of the best way to do this without covering the opening that I need for a pocket. So I'm just gluing those 2 edges down because they're loose, like so. And where's my cloth? I should be using my glue book, which I have here at the side of me, but I'm not using it. Okay, I'm going to put my hand in there, I think, glue this. If the glue decides it's coming out, I have been keeping this glue upside down in my pen pot, and it does seem to help it. So, gosh, it's going to be coming out in blobs and dollops and all sorts. So just put a thin bead along the top, and then I shall spread out those dollopy bits like this. Having to be very, very careful because it's quite fragile now. How anyone would have come out with their wages in coins and notes in this envelope without losing any, I do not know. So we are going to see whether we think this is directional, and it isn't. And we are going to now glue this. I think I'm being a bit cack-handed here, but I'm making this worse for myself, aren't I now? So I'm actually going to glue it like this. I'm putting it on there like that. I'm sure Dee Dee didn't make a clumsy effort like this to cover hers. Oh no, that's not working. So let's put it down. Only problem is you can't easily cut the top if it's too long at the top afterwards. Now, why does that not seem straight? I think it's the flap that's not completely straight. Just pull that down a bit. Okay. And I don't want to cut any part of this envelope if I can help it. Just very carefully cut round it. And I can trim that, so you can trim it afterwards. Let's give that a press down. Very pretty paper. I do like the colours as well. Let me just trim that. So, okay. So we now have our envelope. So what I want to do is I want to take a piece of this paper, and I want to gosh, these sheets, I find the 12 by 12s a bit unwieldy to use. So I'm just going to cut it slightly smaller width-wise than my envelope. So I think I will cut it to there. So we'll do a little bit. We don't want it too deep, so if we go there, and let's cut that off. See how straight I can make this. I told you my videos are what not to do in crafting. Okay, so that is going to slip in there, and I will use that as a template to make, if I can get it out, to make another piece the same size for the opposite side. It literally, I'm having to do this to strengthen my envelopes. You probably won't have to do this if you've got those nice sacks or the bigger coin envelopes or whatever it is that you're using. I'm sure you won't have to do this at all. Just cut a piece off the edge of there. It's not quite the same width, and I'm just all I'm doing is just making a piece to strengthen that inside lip, because if it's a pocket it needs to be quite tough, otherwise every time you put something in there it's just going to break. So that one is going inside there like so, and again we can trim that edge. Let's give that a press down and do the same with this one. So, you know, you can make your own envelopes with, I've made the bigger ones, as I say, with my school board, but my school board doesn't make them smaller, really small, and they're all completely square. So I've got to kind of watch somebody make them, I think, from scratch. I know people make them out of book pages and all sorts of things. So now that needs a bit of glue down there, just to strengthen that, like so. I don't pull on it too much, so I don't know how effective this is going to be as a pocket, this envelope. Now I could have used a bit of washi tape along there to strengthen it. So I just trim off these edges. So there's other ways you can strengthen them, I guess, either with washi tape or something else. Okay, so that's that one covered. Okay, right, now we are going to glue our envelope onto here. I think we're going to have that as the flap, like that, and because that's going to be glued down, that won't show, but I will cover it over. I will cover that as well. Okay, so let's cover this side. So we don't want this opening, we want to make a top opening, but we'll do that, cut that slither off right at the end, I think. So we will glue this first. Let me use my glue book. Okay. So I'm gluing this piece all across that side of the envelope, but we don't want to glue in there, because don't forget this is going to be a pocket, so you want to make sure that the glue is literally only just along there, just a thin bead of glue along there like that. Okay, and then we're going to use, so if we've got that down, we will use this piece, and I'm just going to line it up with the edge of the envelope like that. Press down before I cut round it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut down there, get rid of that. That makes things a bit easier to manage. Just cutting down here. Obviously white on white, it's easy to cut into your envelope if you're not careful, so just be aware of that. And then we don't want that at the moment, so we're cutting that across there like that, and then we're trimming down there like so. Okay, so we've now covered that piece. This piece is going to be under here like that, and I will probably glue mine to the page. So what we want to do now is we want to cover the whole of this piece, okay, and then we'll trim the top. So we're going to cover this with this, and I'm just, as I said before, I am just going to glue this whole piece down onto there. I'm just thinking now, did Dee Dee cover the whole thing in one go, or did she cover this piece separately? Because actually we have got that is the hinge. Okay, just hoping that I can finish this glue up. Having to squeeze it quite hard, it really hurts my fingers after a while. Just spread out those bits there. Another piece on there to come off. Okay, so I'm going to glue this. I don't know why it is that sometimes I don't feel I've got much room, yet the desk is exactly the same as normal. So I've got my flap, so I'm going to cover that piece separately. Okay, so give that a good press down to spread out that glue. That's better. And I'm going to cut round here. Now, you could cover yours totally different way. I mean, in some respects, sometimes I would just collage mine. But I just thought Dee Dee did hers this way. I thought it was quite a nice idea to do it this way. Okay. Okay, right. Just got a bit of excess down the end, but we might be cutting that, so we'll just leave that for now. So we are going to now just cover this flap, and if I've got it, yeah, I think that was this way up. Don't know which way up that was. Must have been around about here, the paper. Okay, so we will cover the flap with that piece there. So we're just going to squeeze out some more glue. Do not go too close to the edge of that hinge. Hope everyone's doing okay. And that your weather has been a bit better than ours. So I'm going to take that down to the edge there like this, and move that up a bit, like that. Give that a press down. And then we're going to cut around that, following the envelope flap round. Like so. Okay, and there we have that covered, but we still have that flap there. So get rid of that now. Give that a press down. that. Okay, right. And now we want to attach the flap to there. Now, do I want the pocket there? Do I want the pocket? Do I want it that way around so that I have the bigger flap as the hinge? No, I think I'm going to have the bigger piece flat. So I'm going to have the coin, the wage slip envelope down, and I have this as the flap here. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue. So so I need my slit there. So that's the first thing we do. Whoops. Is we're just going to cut a slither of this. I'm going to use my scissors. You can use your trimmer if you find it easier. So I should, in theory, have a top opening, and I do there. I didn't quite cut through that, so let's open that out like that. Okay, just going to trim that. Like that. Okay. Right. Okay, so now we want to glue that on like that. Okay, so there you have your flap. Depends which side. You can have it that side round and have it the same inside, or you can have a pattern. I'm going to do mine this way round like this. So I think I might cover this flap to give that a bit more. It doesn't feel very sturdy to me, so let's cover it in the matching paper the same as we did the first one. So we're just going to make sure we know which is our top pocket, which is there. Okay, so bear in mind, keep that at the top. Oh goodness me. Oh, it's easier just to spread it with my finger. I think it's definitely had it now, don't you? I think maybe I could quite eat without feeling too guilty about wasting. I think I probably could actually throw it in the bin. So let's get that down there like that. And that will just give that a little bit more stability, because when you've got pockets, you know, people putting things in and out, whoever uses it, it's got to have a little bit of strength, I think. Put that up there. So again, I'm just going to follow the lines of the flap with my scissors. Cut that excess piece off. It's easier to cut when there isn't a big piece of paper hanging off the end of your piece. And that has made that flap much better. Look, much better. Right, okay, so to recap, we have our pocket at the top, which has been reinforced now, and we have this one that's been reinforced. Now I like to have a thumb hole in mine, so that I'm just going to quickly measure halfway across the top. So it's 3.5 inches, so I want 2, 4, 6, 8, so I want 1.5 and 4, so just about there for that one. And I'm just going to push it open like that so that I can get this in find my little dot and make a thumb hole there, like that one. And I'm just going to quickly do the same with this one, because sometimes I eyeball these and they're not good. So again, we're going to just hold it open like that. It makes it easier for you to actually get your circle punch in and to make a thumb hole like that. Right, and now we'll do some inking. And I'm going to ink it in Gathered Twigs. And then what I'll do is ink it first, and then we'll just glue the last piece, which is actually gluing them together. So inking just covers up any last traces of white from the paper. I'll just trim that piece off there. White from the paper, because it was white on the inside, it's only single-sided. And also on the other piece, the white from the envelope. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, and I just want to accentuate that thumb hole a bit more. So I'm going to open that out and do the edges here and in there like that. Okay, might need to glue that again in a minute. We'll do the same with this. So obviously we've got a bit of white here with the hinge. Get that pressed down. Oh, the weather's been all right today. Today's Friday. Well, late afternoon. I've finished work for the day, and I thought I must try and conquer this video for this piece, because this, as I said, is my third attempt, and it's so frustrating, isn't it, when you have to keep redoing them. I'm just trimming as I go along where I can see that it needs little slithers just trimmed off without compromising the envelope. See, the glue is starting to, just wipe that off. Just a tiny bit of glue down there. Take that piece down. And possibly that corner as well. I took my grandson to school this morning on the way to work. Yeah, I think he's glad it's Friday. They're still going in there when they have PE. They're still having to go to school in their PE kits and stay in it all day. So they got to the door to come out to actually go to the car, because I picked him up from his mum's today. Mummy and Daddy are separated, and Daddy lives in the road where the school is, so I take him from Daddy's on a Monday and from Mummy's on a Friday. And now I'm just going to ink inside this envelope because it's white. So let's flap that over and give that a good inking. Yes, so I said to him, oh, let's drive across to Daddy's, park the car on his drive, and then we'll walk down because it's a nice morning. I said, you know, it's good for Nanny's exercise regime, of which I don't really have one, but, you know, I'm trying. I've never been one for gyms or exercising like to that extreme. It's not my thing. It never has been. And I think, you know, at my age, I don't really want to start now. Now that's needs a bit of glue down there. So anyway, I like walking, and walking for me is a good form of exercise. So that's what we did. We walked down, and just as we were leaving Mummy's to get in the car, he said, oh, can I change my socks because I've got a hole in one of them, and I think it must have been around the toe area because he said when he changed, he said, oh, that's so much better, Nanny. Well, actually, I'm not Nanny anymore. I'm Nan now. No longer is he calling me Nanny. It's got to be Nan. So that's the latest. So I hope we've done this the right. I hope I put the thumb hole in the right side, you know. Imagine if I hadn't. Yes, I have done it. That's fine. I've done it that way. So what we want to do now is glue this down to here. Okay. And then we're done, apart from a bit of decoration. Yeah, so we had to run up and get some socks. And I said, we're going to catch all the traffic. It's horrendous on a Friday morning from that side of Aylesbury over to Beerton where his school is. So we decided that he was going to change them in the car on the way. I said, can you manage to do that without undoing your... He still has a booster seat. He's 9, and you by law they're supposed to be in a booster seat, I believe, until they're 11 or 12. Oh, this glue's actually finished, look. I think that's it. I just wondered if I could squeeze the last drop out for this. And I can't. Right, let's put that in the bin. Hooray. I just think I'll finish it off with a bit of 3-in-1 because my other glue, my new bottle of art glitter glue, which I haven't used, not used that glue yet. Never tried art glitter. That's over in the drawer. I don't want to prolong the video any longer than I have to by searching for it. So I'm just gluing it, and I'm laying it just a hair's breadth away from that flap hinge. Okay, so we're now going to give that a press down like that, and there you have your piece. So give that hinge a bit of a press now so that it lies flat. So you have your hinged piece, double pocket, so pocket there and a pocket there, and obviously this is going to be stuck to my page. Now if you wanted to, you could use this as a floating piece, and you could actually paper clip this or even put it inside a pocket or a belly band. So that would be a nice idea. But if I want to put mine down on the page, because obviously I've covered that in different paper to that, so I probably would glue this on the page, and I will glue mine down 3 sides, here, here and here, and I will have another top loading pocket. But if you wanted to glue it there, there and there, you could have a nice side pocket. Okay, so that's our piece. Right. Just wipe that. Okay, so Oh, a mat that protects the desktop, a big, the pinky looking lilac-y mat underneath. And this is my self-healing cutting mat. And then I've got my glass mat, and I've even got my original mat, which is a wooden one, designed for arts and crafts. So I think we'll decorate this now. And the other two I decorated with a bit of lace and some flowers and butterfly. So I think maybe we'll stick to that, and we will get the lace. So I'll just go and get that behind me so I don't have to move too far. So I'm just going to find a suitable piece to use. Okay, and I've got some labels. And I've got my flowers. So here's the lace. Let's have a look at that with my scissors. And this is quite pretty, this lace. So I think maybe we'll have some down the side there, like that. We'll start off and put that on first. Use the 3-in-1. Now, am I going to have it down that side, or for a change, will I have it down here? That's quite pretty. But then, do I want it just on that side? Or does that make that look a bit strange? I think we'll stick to having it this side. Okay, so I'm just checking which is the right side of this. If you can hear any noise in the background, that's Paddy Dog using our bed as a trampoline and boinging up and down on it. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I always do is make the bed. I loved a nice, freshly made bed. Turn all the pillows over, and then I go back in there and find that Paddy Dog's been up on it, and he's been boinging up and down, trampolining. And he has this, it's a Jack Russell thing as far as I know, but he has this habit of lying partially on his side with his nose sideways onto the bed, and then he does this sort of scuffling with his paws. It takes great delight in doing that. Gets great enjoyment out of it. So this box is now too full with not that I'm complaining, with all sorts of fussy cuts and flowers and things. So I'm going to go back to using some more of these Tim Holtz botanical pieces, and let's see what we can find in here that we can find to match in. So do like the yellow daisies, so I'd love that on the front. I think we've got a nice yellow butterfly, which I think would look nice on the inside, like that. And we could have a bit of lace along here, so we'll do that next. Put that lace down. Yeah, so never had a dog that's used the bed as a trampoline. But of course, I don't think anyone's ever had a dog like Paddy, quite honestly. Am I putting it there or there? What did I do on the other ones? Had it down the side there on that one. And we had it along there on that one. So let's put it along the bottom. It's very hard to tell what's the right and wrong side sometimes of these pieces. We're just going to run a bead of 3-in-1 down here, like so. Yeah, so I apologise for the noise he might be creating. He is a little scoundrel, to be sure. He really is. And I know, and he knows it too. Okay, so I think with that's going on the front, that's going there. So we link that up and we'll stick that down. So just inking over the white edges of this, like so. Give that a glue down. Like so. I'm not putting anything underneath that. And then now he's going to bark because he thinks, oh, sorry about this. I'm just going to shut the door. One of his arch enemies obviously is a courier. I'm so sorry about that. But that was a courier, as I was trying to say just then. And he then knocked at the door, so Paddy went berserk. He just does not like couriers and the postman. He has met the postman, mind you, and they were fine together. It's not like he actually hates him. He just hates the principle of him putting things through the letterbox, because to him that's his house, his territory, and why should the postman be allowed to do it? So I'm going to use some more of this webbing and going to put a bit behind there. So we will measure that out. I don't want too much. So I do apologise for that. You can never predict what creatures are going to do, can you? Whether it's dogs, cats, or what it is. Cat was asleep at the top of the stairs and she was very much put out when he started the barking. She then becomes quite agitated. Okay, so I'm going to just ink over a bit of this white. There does seem to be an awful lot of white on these pieces from Tim Holtz, and some of the more recent pieces I've found have got quite a bit of, it's not white, it's actually grey. And that's bent slightly, so to be very careful with that. So let's put this down here. Like, I'm going to put it at a bit of an angle, so I'm just going to run a bit around the edges of this and I'm going to put it on at an angle like that. And then we're going to put this piece This is a new bottle of 3-in-1 that I've opened because I told you I bought a pack of 2. That the last bottle seemed to last forever. Finally used it up. Oh, it must have been about a week or so ago. And yeah, so right. Okay, so it's nice to use. Oh, I didn't, for some reason I didn't glue the piece that's actually bent. I thought I had. Right, that should do it. Okay, so we've got that. We'll find a label, and these are Tracy Fox, just one set that I've printed out and actually cut out. I have got a few sets to actually do. It's just another job on my list. Just another job on my list. Oh, I like this. I like this little label, so I'm going to put that up there. I do like the green of this. You can't beat Tracy Fox's labels, you know. They are the best, I think. No disrespect to anyone else. And I have tried others. But other labels are available, I should say. Okay, so that's that there. I think that's very nice. If I think it is anyway. So we're going to put something on here now. Now I do have this piece that was cut out. I don't really think that goes. Let's see if we've got another flower in this pack. They're all big pieces as well. I've not actually tried cutting into any of them. And the butterflies, I mean, look how big they are. I mean, those were the sort of thing that I guess probably would put on the top of, on the front of a journal or something, maybe. I don't know. That's too tall. I can't see anything else suitable. That's small, but it's not the colours I really wanted. I did take that one out. Right, we'll put those to one side for a moment over here. We'll just have another quick look in here quickly. I did have some more Tim Holtz things. Got some of those fussy cut flowers. We've got some stickers, but I don't know if stickers and cardboard die cuts, whether they actually mix, or that's just my personal taste. Now I did have another pack of those, and I emptied them out into the bottom of this box. So it's possible that we may have another yellow piece in here. Now I've got that. That's actually something I've cut out. It's quite dark though. Now this is the one that we have on the front, but I don't know if I want the same inside. We do have two of those. All right, and the other thing about these is they all start getting tangled up with everything else. Well, look at this. This is a fussy cut bird. Isn't that beautiful? I've not actually used that yet. The trouble is when you've got things like this, I don't know if anyone else finds the same. I find I forget that I've got them. So that's why I'm trying to keep them all in the same place so that it makes me look through them. Okay, so I've just found a small piece. Just found this, and I quite like this little yellow rose, so I think we might have that down there in the corner, and we'll have it on a piece of web. Where did I put the web? Did anyone see where I put it? Oh, of course it's there underneath those. Okay, put those there. Find a piece of web to put underneath it, like so. We will just ink round this. That on. So take those square edges off a bit. Like that. I'm going to put some of that down in the corner. Like that. And pop that on the top. I think this might have been out of a slightly different set, you know. It looks much smaller than the rest. So that's there. Put those back. And I think perhaps another label is called for, but maybe a label as opposed to, so on the front we've got a number. So if we can find a little green label. So we've got definitions. That one says pollinate. What else have we got? Got that says the 14th of April in French. Botany, that one. Else have we got fern, that's not appropriate. Grass, branch, sapling, nature. Nature's quite a nice one to have. Too many to choose from, that's the trouble. And I should have been a Libra really, because I can never make up my mind. Okay, let's use this one. I think we'll use this nature. And we're going to round that. And pop that down. Like so. I'll put that over here like that. And it's just simple but pretty, I think. So there we have it. So let's just close the ink, cap the glue, and we'll bring our other two back in, and there we have them. So that is episode 21 of Dee Dee Farago's YouTube challenge, hashtag 2021 TCTC, and that's it. So there we have it. And obviously once you decide where you want to use it, you can then embellish it a bit more if you want to accordingly. So there we have it. Those are the 3 that I've now made for this challenge, and that's me. So take care everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.